Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Knowledge of RWBY podcast. I'm your host, Knight, and with me today I have Goldstar and Jellal.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 13, Our Way. Then this is the season finale, so keep in mind, there are really spoilers in this episode. A lot of spoilers.
Yeah, if there's ever been any amount of spoilers in our episodes, this one might have the most.
Well, last episode had a lot of spoilers, but this one has got, I guess, the most.
Yes, because it is the season finale. It literally goes along everything that happened in this season.
And before we give a summary of what happened in this latest episode, since Goldstar wasn't here for like the last 2 episodes or so, I want to just give his opinion quickly of just the last 2 episodes of RWBY.
Alright, well, I definitely thought the Atom fight was very interesting as well as the mech fight. However, I think the Atom fight took center stage in the way that spoilers if you already seen the previous podcast of him dying. And yeah, it's really all I'm going to say just to quickly recap my thoughts, so we can just get into the summary of this one.
Okay, with that being good point. With that being said, Goldstar, give the summary.
Alright, so our way starts with a scene of Neo and Cinder, where Neo arrives at Haven's ship to go to Solitos. And then Cinder skates out that ship would be good enough to use. Cinder is about to board where Neo stops her and shows that her semblance can camouflage his ship to look like an Atlas land craft. Cinder smiles in approval, and then because of this says, "You know, Neo, someone once asked me if I believe in destiny, and I'm happy to say I still do." Then the episode cuts to Relic and approaching Argus, and then it cuts to where the mech fight took place, where that said mech cannot move its arm cannon. The base tries calling Kerovin for support, but Kerovin cannot support him. Kerovin starts to yell like a team, stating that this is all their fault. Yang, Blake, and run to RWBY and the crew and are reunited with them. They all get in the ship and start flying away. Maria then suggests that they should just be leaving, since the military is scrapped by the Grimm, and because of that, they can just fly under the radar to Atlas. Team RWBY says no, and then Blake mentions what Maria said earlier, in which they are huntresses, and they should protect people to the bitter end. The military then deploys some shields, then Relic and Grimm destroys the first shield by hitting the weak point with fire, and then starts to approach the second barrier. RWBY states that they can handle it, and she shares a plan with her team to beat Goliathan. The team does their job to distract the beast while RWBY approaches his Weiss's wasps, generated by her semblance. She attempts to activate her silver eyes by digging up old memories, but due to being rushed and stressed out by the time, her eyes don't. Goliathan looks at RWBY, who is holding the Relic of Knowledge, and prepares to attack. RWBY shouts for Jim and freezes time for summon. She tells Shin that she didn't have a question, however she just needed more time. Jin then responds that she would, for this time, only give knowledge for free. She then warned RWBY never call her without a question again, even if it was a clever summon. RWBY calmed down and revisits her old memories again, where we see some scenes from past volumes beautifully recreated in still moments, like it was in the first scene where she tries to activate Silver Eyes, as well as a proper render of Summer. This activates her Silver Eyes, freezing the Leviathan. The Leviathan slowly breaks free of the stone, encasing it. Then Kerovin appears in the mech with the cannon arm cut off. Her left hand then transforms into a drill and she starts charging at the Grimm. She says that she would take over and that her responsibility is to protect the people of Argus. Once the Leviathan died, she faced RWBY, who thanks her for help. Kerovin tells RWBY no one would notice one ship leaving to Atlas. The crew leaves and they rejoice knowing they succeeded. In the ship on their way to Atlas, Crow tells RWBY she did a great job and that she just doesn't go around giving him heart attacks like that again, and starts to take a drink of his flask before stopping. RWBY responds with hugging Crow and stating, "I love you too." RWBY walks back, and then Maria starts to have a one-on-one with Crow where they compliment each other on how they did today. Everyone looks at RWBY. RWBY looks shy. Everyone says their plans were crazy. And RWBY fires back saying they have all done the same at one point. This leads into a reveal about how Oscar actually had guidance from Osbin, who was in his mind to help land the plane. Everyone questioned what that would mean for the future. And then this was interrupted by Crow stating that they need to see the view of Atlas, and then they were stunned by the beautiful view of it, and then they noticed that there were a bunch of airships above Atlas, looking like they were ready to kind of initialize an attack. Let's see. The team ship was welcome home, and then they will cut to the credits, and then in the post-credit scene, Mercury and Emerald watch on as Salem starts to involve the Bingolgrim. Am I correct on that pronunciation?
The Burngle, I think it is.
Bingol Grim to have wings, which could be a Wizards of Oz reference, and we'll go into that later on. And then Hazel goes up to Mercury and Emerald and tells him an old phrase: "You want something done, you do it yourself." Was that a good summary?
Pretty good summary, Goldstar. Let's see. So first thing I want to talk about is the post-credit scene. And I agree that like the flying Burngols definitely look like a Wizard of Oz reference.
Yep, the flying monkeys of the witch.
Yeah, they even to me, I think I saw like a little like point on their head, and that looked like the monkeys in Wizard of Oz. So
There's a lot of references in this one. Let's just say that.
So I guess Ozpin is the wizard and Salem's the witch. So Salem's weakness is water.
I'm melting. I
Yeah.
sound like Herbert as the witch.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So I guess Tyrion and Watts, as we know, are headed to Atlas, or in Atlas, or whatever. They're headed to Atlas. So I guess Salem is going to be maybe in Atlas, leading the Grim.
I mean, probably.
Well, either way, it's dirty final.
Yeah.
What?
Knight, wasn't it either me or you that mentioned in one episode how we thought that Salem could modify the Grim in some way?
Oh yes, we did. I thought it was just like she can control Grim, but I guess she can modify them.
Yeah, I think one of us said that. I wasn't sure who it was.
Yeah, I remember that conversation.
Yeah, so we were right about that, at least.
Yeah, she can make the flying apes.
Yes, she can give apes wings. She can make
boys.
pigs fly if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, if they were pig grim.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Of course.
That's interesting, I think. I think we can get back to that later, but I want to... you mentioned something about... You want to talk about Jin?
Yeah, something I found like really interesting about the Jin is, honestly, I thought, like, I never thought that RWBY would kind of use her the way she did, and I always find the scenes of the Jin interesting. Partially because of the thought that went into her design, Rooster Teeth. Why?
Wait, what? What do you say?
The thought that went into her design, Rooster Teeth. Why?
You don't like it?
But I'm not saying I don't like it. It's
Just think back of peaches.
Yeah, I get it.
Consider that for a second here, Knight, and you'll understand why.
Family friendly.
Exactly. Yeah, totally family friendly. It's totally family friendly to have a girl whose only clothing is a thing of chain.
Of course.
It's also totally family friendly to stab Adam 2 times.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't think RWBY is family friendly.
Not anymore.
not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it stopped being family friendly after Crow was like, "I was defeated by the sheer length of the waitress's skirt length."
Was that in volume 2 or volume
3?
3?
Volume 3. Crow wasn't even in volume 2.
You know
Anyway.
what? My time is on.
Anyway, let's talk. So what's this about Jin you want to talk about? That was interesting.
Mainly like a combination of the fact that she kind of has a soul, and it's not like she just answers your question and boom bam bap, that's it. She kind of more of a being, I guess. Like in this case, she didn't have to do anything for RWBY. RWBY could have just said, "Okay, I didn't have a question. Goodbye," and then the Jin just goes away. In this case, she actually quote unquote helped RWBY out with some kind of knowledge, which I honestly still don't really get what that knowledge is, unless we're saying the time that she was given was knowledge,
I think that
that's
could
what
be
I'm
it.
thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
which is stupid, if you ask me.
I mean, I think honestly, like, because the Jin saw RWBY being pressured by the time, so like knowledge of not being pressured by that time helped kind of activate that power. That's how I viewed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't like that.
You don't like
I
that?
don't like that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that.
I mean, I could be wrong. There could be other interpretations of it.
Yeah, but I agree with Goldstar that it's time. And there's something I love about that scene where Ruby's concentrating. All the flashbacks that were just basically
Yeah,
stills
Yeah.
of just those are just amazing. They're like and basically now Ruby's current art style just redesigned and we finally got a proper render of Summer instead of just a photo. And all those images were just great. It was really cool. There should be some flashing on the screen right now that I was able to get a hold of, but
Yeah,
they were just
each of
amazing.
the flashbacks. Yes.
generally.
Like I was honestly blown back when I saw it. I watched it like 5 times over before even watching the end of the episode because I was just so amazed by it. And
Yeah.
it was
I
something that
cried,
was really
actually.
touching in the finale too, because not only does it reflect on Volume 6, but it also reflects on the other volumes that came before it. And Kira got a shout out, Penny got a shout out, everyone got.
Everybody got shout
The
out.
way Yeah, I was gonna say the way I saw it, I kind of cried when I saw that scene. I said, like, "This is how far we've come from Volume 1, from
Yeah.
that day when our little girl walked to Beacon for the first time." I play the dad of this group, in case you guys couldn't tell. I play the dad of this group.
The dad of this.
No, you play like the one who's got crazy. He's just going crazy. All right. Anyway, so those images were great. That was just great. I really liked how the Pyrrha death one. Let me think of the other ones. And-
The Penny Devil.
That was okay. The Penny death one. They were
It's just a lot of death.
it was just-
a lot.
There was a lot of death in the first half of it. The second half, all optimistic and looking to where the point that RWBY reached now.
Yeah.
Which was fine, but
And also, before going to like our final thoughts of Volume 6, or just something about its episode, you said something about the Leviathan, about it being frozen or something. What was that you told me before we started recording?
yeah. So right, something I noticed about this fight right after RWBY activated her silver eyes. I keep wanting to call it her semblance. And freezes it broke free. And in all honesty, I thought like the moment it was frozen, that was it. The Grim was pretty much done. It would have been staying that way forever because that's what happened with the Grim. But the Leviathan broke free. So that made me think, what if the dragon broke free?
Well, here's the thing: the dragon is frozen on top of Beacon Tower. The other instance of Silver Eyes is Maria, where she froze a Nevermore, and that just crumbled. And then now this, it froze, but the Grim was able to get out. I think we mentioned before, it's a level of strength. So RWBY just really emotionally, first time using Silver Eyes, freezes the Dragon Grim, and that's frozen because it was like a level that's so strong, but RWBY didn't know how she activated it. Then when she uses
this time it was strong.
then when she uses it against then when she uses it against the apathy, Maria helps her. The first time, not as strong, but Maria helps her to just defeat the apathy. Then when we see Maria use it, it's with her control kind of strength to just take down the Nevermore. Now, this was her first time really concentrating and using it.
I feel like what happened in the first time, it was just the experience of seeing Pyrrha's death and kind of like the raw guilt that she felt about that, how she couldn't protect her, that activated her power, and because it was so strong by that visual death, that causes the dragon to be and not break free. And pretty much this time it was way more centered on happy memories and not something as visually traumatizing as death itself.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I view it. Yeah.
That makes sense. I'll admit that makes sense.
Yeah. So, moving on. So, we just want to do, it's not really a review. We may have actually have a review of video later, maybe sometime next week or like next 2 weeks. I may do a review video, but these are basically our final thoughts of RWBY Volume 6.
Yeah, this is the end of the road here for us.
End of the road until Volume 7. So first thing that I think was something that was persistent throughout Volume 6 was Crow's drinking, and how it mainly happened a lot after they learned of Ozpin and how Salem can't be killed, and Crow's just Ozpin's betrayal of Crow's trust. They just went to alcohol. And by the end of it, it's just after like RWBY just finally gets them and just stops drinking.
Well, I mean, I guess it's never referred that he stopped drinking completely. It's confirmed that he has resistance to it now.
Yes, restraint.
Yeah, restraint. I mean, because true fact about alcohol,
About what?
it's addiction. I said true fact about being an alcoholic. It's hard to get out of that
Yeah,
addiction.
but he's like a functioning alcoholic. So, but I think
Yeah.
it just turned out to just him being an alcoholic. But that was I
Yeah.
like that. It was like just it wasn't really like it wasn't really like said, but how the way it was shown was great.
Yeah, it was I thought that scene was really cute just because of that. Because he looks at it and he's like, I don't really want to do this after just the conversation that he had with Ruby. I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to mention anything about this?
Honestly, Volume 6 has been a whirlwind and a half for me. I mean, start to finish, just like getting the rotate, whether it be about like who Ozpin are, the whole fact that Salem can't be killed, I thought was interesting. And like, in all honesty, this season, I think more than any of the other ones, really inspired
Inspired what?
me to like start talking, to start, getting down, theorizing, and all
Weren't
that kind of stuff.
you doing that before?
I was, but I mean, like, more than last time. Like, and last time I made theories and I just never posted anything for it. I just talked about stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. We didn't have like a channel or anything, so you had theories, and some of them were proven wrong, like Ozpin's Kane.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people theorize that, and they just shouted out at it saying, "No, my Kane is not a relic." I have no further questions. So just Rooster Teeth, you guys called me out. You called out everyone. Congratulations. I appreciate that.
So,
you played yourself.
Everyone who made the theory played themselves.
Well, yeah, okay, that you got me there.
yeah,
you got me there. You're right. You're right.
yeah.
I mean, at least with Volume 6, we created this channel, we created a foundation, and now
we built this city.
Yeah, and next we have upcoming, which we're gonna actually record right after this. Knowledge of Genlock.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Knowledge of Genlock, which will be out tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time. And now let's get back to RWBY. So, something that Goldstar, you weren't here for, which was the last 2 episodes, with me and Jellal mentioning Bumblebee, which, as I think you stated in a previous episode, you have no opinion of. You don't care if it happens or if it doesn't happen.
Yes, indeed.
Me personally, I'm a fan of it, and Jellal, you're a fan of it too.
Number 1 supporter.
Yeah.
Number 1 supporter.
So, we said that would be like the after that scene we're on a plane after they fight the Leviathan. They say Yang and Blake. I forgot who says it, but one of them says that they protected each other. That they had to go through that ordeal. Yang.
Yeah, because Weiss commented that at least Yang was there to help you out to Blake, and then Yang was like, "No, we were there for
each other." Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think that Bumblebee is a big possibility in Volume 7 or later?
I say it's 100% a possibility.
I mean, so going back to me stating that I didn't really care it happened, I'm actually changed my perspective, and now I'm kind of excited for it to happen.
Really?
Because actually seeing the kind of interactions they had during these last 3 or 4 episodes, it kind of made me get excited and get hyped up for Bumblebee in some sort of sense. So now I just can't wait to see where Rooster Teeth takes it, if they take that route, which I'm hoping happens.
They did with Sapphire, or what her name was. I forgot what it was, dang it.
Saffron?
Saffron. I keep calling her Sapphire. I don't know why.
Sapphire. I mean, because it's easy to remember Sapphire, not Saffron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, So let's mention stuff that's actually happening. So I want to mention the 2 people that, besides Team RWBY, are headed to are in Atlas or headed to Atlas, like literally by an airship, which is Neo and Cinder and Watts and Tyrion. Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Dude, Pokemon, period.
The
So
Saffron is getting to you.
So which one do you think will face Team Ruby first? I'm thinking Leo and Cinder.
Honestly, yep, you got my vote.
Yeah,
For that.
I agree with that. I mean, I can think either one, but I would be more willing to see Neo and Cinder first than
Yeah.
Watson Tyrion.
I feel
I
like
feel like Watson Tyrion would be a bigger direct build up later in the volume.
it'll get to like the halfway point of the volume, and they have like already had like their Neo confrontation, and then towards the end of the volume, we get to see like the Salem and Watson Tyrion.
Yeah.
But you don't have to
Like-
they're the three main villains of Salem's faction, Cinder, and Adam. Adam has been, as we know, has been taken care of. It's just Cinder
As far as
and
you know.
Salem.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be built up to be like a big finale of Volume 7. I mean, it could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's just confrontation between Team Ruby, Salem, and her
Yeah.
monkey flying him.
It could be also that Neo and Cinder are going to work with Salem.
Yeah, that could also be a possibility.
Yeah.
And honestly, I see a fight between Cinder and Salem happening, especially because of the whole Salem being like she has to prove herself first.
I mean, I don't feel like that fight would happen while they're fighting Team Ruby. Like I said,
You never know, man. You never know.
I mean, it would be kind of weird if Salem just goes up to Cinder's like, "Hey, prove yourself now, fight me."
Yeah.
I
And
mean, welcome to Rooster Teeth, buddy.
Welcome, Bruce. That reminds me, actually, I think something we forgot to mention. So, Cinder and Neo, what do you guys think of their new designs?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I don't think much of it. No,
I mean, I do like Cinder.
Yeah, Cinder's has
Only
looks.
the most noticeable.
Cinder's is just for me, just looks like the exact same thing, just painted black.
Well, I
And
mean,
with,
that's
like, a
probably
new-
why it's so noticeable because it's black.
With a new eye patch. Neo's is cool. It's very
Unusual.
unusual, but I think it fits Neo's character quite well.
Yeah, especially the hat. The hat is
Yeah.
what really kind of
I mean,
sums it up for me. I mean, I don't care about the rest of the design, but the hat, that's just.
She had the hat earlier.
I know, but
I didn't kill your boss.
Yeah. But I liked how we see Neo again, and then she looks like how she was before, and now has a new outfit. So it's not that much of a change.
Yeah, we haven't missed much since Volume 3 when she left us.
As well as so Neo's semblance. I thought it was like mimicking or like a mirror kind of thing. So I guess she can just camouflage herself, break, just. What is her semblance? What's the best way to describe her semblance?
maybe it's some sort of like glass camouflage ability where she can either mimic something or make something look like something else by
Okay,
using
so
like
like in the
some sort of
mirror.
glass-like structure. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We explained better why in Volume she kind of reflected that image. It could be like a part of using glass, and maybe in this Volume 6 finale,
Yeah.
appears like the Atlas military ship because she uses like a glass-like semblance.
I thought it was
I mean, that was-
always like a Cinder in the beginning. He used like glass, like the dust weaving into her clothes. I think it was glass. So I don't. It could be
Yeah,
glass, or it could be
both.
something like a mirror. Mirrors are made out of glass, but I think you get what I'm trying to say.
I get.
Hopefully, everyone out there will get us as well. If not,
Yeah.
keep this video.
Neo's semblance is interesting because I thought it just like would affect her and stuff around her, but it actually affects. She can camouflage a whole vehicle.
Yeah, I mean it was only for a short amount of time though.
I think it was just showing that she could.
I mean, and she was like, she looked tired about it.
Yeah.
She
Like it
didn't
took
look like she
something
could
out.
do it.
It
For
could
a
be.
long
It
time.
could be like Ren's semblance when he masked stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and instead of
maybe-
making
maybe
it
it won't
unattractive to grim, it making it look like something else.
So, yeah, Neo, interesting semblance. I think we already mentioned our Silver Eyes point. So
Yeah, she
now,
might have the next broken thing. Come on.
so the next thing is the final thing. Well, actually, almost the last thing is So now they're arriving in Argus. They're already in Atlas. Both begin with an A.
Yeah, we
Both
made-
had the same kind of military, but
I know.
Actually, hang
I
on,
made that mistake before.
hang on. Going back to Argus, actually, I just realized. So something we mentioned earlier was that Sanctum Academy is in Argus or near Argus.
Yes, I believe we mentioned that in an episode I did, or
Yeah, with
I'm
you.
prepared.
And we said
Yeah.
that why don't they help out the local huntsmen if they're maybe protecting people around, or it's not banning them because of whatever Lionheart did, leading them to their deaths. Shouldn't there
Hmm.
be
I mean,
some
also,
around to help with the Grim?
I
I mean, mind
mean,
you, none of them are like brave as Pyrrha. Like Pyrrha, we saw like she kind of had that bravery. No one really has.
But
Maybe
their
like
job is literally to protect people from Grim.
they're
So,
students. They're students. They're
well,
not
there should be
technically-
teachers there unless class is on session.
There should be teachers.
there should
Well-
be, people who teach them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this might be a stretch, but you remember at the end of Volume how all airships were evacuated to Atlas?
Yeah,
Maybe
including-
on those airships there were huntresses and hunters to kind also add on. Maybe.
That doesn't make really much sense because they're like hunters and hunters. I
mean,
think are like a
Nothing
freelance.
Ironwood has done before makes sense.
No, I
man.
don't think
Nothing
because
Iron-
Atlas Military and hunters and huntsmen are different unless they're Atlas huntsmen and huntresses. There should be some Mistral ones or like near Argus. Like Lionheart shut down Haven, the school. Haven the school.
Yeah.
I don't think he shut down Sanctum Academy or whatever. It's called Sanctum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanctum.
Yeah. I just realized that,
Sanctum.
but I guess they didn't help. They're like, okay, today you will learn about math. Oh, this is Grim Attack. What is 2 plus 2?
What is?
You have
I
failed.
mean, you have-
You have failed. You have not learned how many times to attack a Grim before it's dead.
Yes. Anyway, so going back from Argus to now, Atlas. I never got the impression of Atlas being flying. I watched the World of Remnant of Atlas. I don't remember it ever being just floating. Or not, well, Atlas is the Solaris is the continent. Atlas is the city. I never got the impression it was floating. Or being anchored like kind of like a balloon.
Yeah.
it is a balloon, though. It is.
I mean, it is, but like, there
there
was no way to expect that impression unless you just thought, "Hey, maybe it's a balloon."
It could be just they mentioned a World of Remnant and I just completely forgot about it.
Maybe,
But I thought that
but
was cool. That was just cool. It was a cool.
I don't remember it as well, so
I
maybe.
don't watch World of Remnant, so I definitely don't. Remember.
Oh, ouch.
I love Ruby, but in all honesty, I'm more into the characters than I am into the world. I will get into the world once Ruby's story wraps up, but but
I like that. I'm into the character of the world, but I don't like the world. So I'll look at the world when the story's over and the character.
no, like, hold on, whoa. Okay, so for those of you who know me IRL, or for those of you who just know me, period, based on the name, you guys know I'm an FT fan. I'm a Fairy Tail fan. So you guys would think that means I've watched Fairy Tail Zero. I haven't. I actually don't care what happened with Mavis, and I'm going to look into that when I'm done with.
This is not
Yeah,
knowledge of
100
Fairy
years
Tail. Focus on
I
Ruby.
know. I'm just pointing that out for the Fairy Tail fans who do watch it.
I will not be putting an image up of any Fairy Tail or whatever you're mentioning. It will just be Ruby.
I love how
I'm fine with
passionate
that.
Jellal is about Fairy Tail. He's like,
wait,
just in case there's any fans.
Make a knowledge of Fairy Tail series.
No, I like how you say how passionate Jellal is. Jellal is a character from Fairy Tail. You know?
I mean, I can get that.
I kind of
you
got
are.
that, but I don't know because I don't watch Fairy Tail and this is Ruby. Let's focus on Ruby.
Show some diversity, man.
Okay, anime.
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 Enemies.
I'll name an anime.
Anime.
I'll name an
What do you know?
anime.
Genlock.
Genlock, yes, that's an anime.
That's totally an anime. Yeah.
Anyway, back on track. What were we talking? Oh yeah, Arrival in Atlas. So Atlas, just a cool design, and the Atlas fleet protecting it. So
Yep.
I have a question. So remember how
Anyway.
that virus made the ships go down because it was on the ship?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The virus is gone, right? Like no other ships have the virus on them. And they
Oh.
and they have made like they had like a coders or whatever, and they have a universe to like protect from the virus, right? So if someone sneaks on one of the ships, that the other ships don't attack Atlas, right?
All I'm hearing is another reason to punch Ironwood in the face.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm
which
looking at this and immediately think of Volume 3 and how Roman was already on, but Neo and Roman were on a ship, and they hack one of them, and then it just kills everyone.
Yeah.
It just, again, all I'm hearing is another reason to punch Ironwood in the face, which I've been wanting to do since Volume 7 started.
Volume 7.
Volume 7? This is Volume 6, dude.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Yo,
I'm saying
I
volume
never knew you were a
7
time
is-
traveler. I never knew you went to the
Oh, no, I'm the
future.
doctor. I'm the doctor, you know?
You're the doctor? Alright, what happens to Volume 7?
I can't tell you. That would alter time too much.
Crow dies.
If he does, I'm gonna be pissed. Because
Yeah.
Crow is my favorite.
I mean, I won't lie. Crow is one of my favorite characters too.
It's
but-
everyone's favorite character. How can you not like Crow?
Yeah, how can you not like a functioning alcoholic?
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own theme, man. Sad to say, I'm your bad luck charm.
We'll get to the music in a bit. So yeah, Atlas. It'll be
There's another
interesting.
thing
I'm
here.
thinking that Winter or Ironwood, like they hear either Weiss or Crow, and we'll let them land. Well, actually, if it's Ironwood, probably will not let Crow land. Actually, probably will let Crow land when they mention about the relic. Winter
Yeah.
will probably let them land if Weiss is there, but not Crow because I think she hates Crow.
I think I was apparent from the fight in Volume 3.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
not have a likey kind of relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You know, I mean, in Chibi, they said, flirting used to be a lot less violent in my day.
I mean, that's kind of creepy. Won't lie.
I often said that about them when,
Crow and Winter and a Ruby Chibi skip.
yep. That was adorable and that I love so much.
Yeah, anyway.
Of
So
course.
something that was on when they're arriving, so earlier when Oscar, their plane was crashing and Osmond performed a crash landing, and the plane was ship, whatever it's called, was perfectly intact. He reveals that Osmond didn't control him but guided him to help land it.
He had Osprey was at the heart of the card.
Heart of the cards. Now
Heart
I'm
of the cards.
thinking
Fuck.
Osmond was just like a Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's like, okay, you just have to push it down. Go up. All right, now you're crashed. Oh, you're dead. Too bad.
I'm surprised that Night, out of all people, made a joke about Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Listen. We made jokes about Fairy Tale, about Doctor Who. Why the hell not Microsoft Flight Simulator? Anyway,
We can make jokes about whatever we want to make.
All
For
right.
James
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
I'm just saying, it caught me off guard. Like, I get the Doctor and Fairy Tale since that's coming from Jellal, and I know what he's into. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
whatever. Only thing I think of that's flying. I can make worse jokes than that, but let's not
Like
get into
what?
that. Probably not best for a RWBY podcast.
Like a Delta joke.
Let's not say, but let's just get into Ozpin. So he's been just I guess watching them, hasn't really been doing much at all.
Mm.
How do you think that's gonna play? Like, you think he's gonna?
Not doing much. That's nothing. Just,
It at the end of anything, he just lets things happen.
Yeah. I feel like
what he's done is nothing. What he's done is
I feel like what's happening is because Ozpin kind of realized how his actions have affected everyone. He has decided to kind of take like a sideline in some sense and not put situations to his own hand because I think now he
Because
fears that
that's
he will ruin it.
again.
Yes, again for like how many times he's ruined things.
Yeah, let's see.
30 millionth time in his life.
I would say
He has made more mistakes than any.
I
man
would say
in childhood.
Jellal, you're angry at Ironwood. I would say be more angry at Ozpin than Ironwood.
Well, Ozpin. Okay, Ozpin. I will admit I am mad at him. I'm not as mad at him as I am at Ironwood, though.
I mean, if Ozpin didn't have his little uh-oh with Salem, then
If you didn't have this little just the way to describe that. Man. So,
just his little uh-oh, you know?
yeah, I know. But I mean, at the same time, I don't really blame that. And there's one reason and one reason only why I don't blame him.
Which
And that's
is,
to the fact that it's love. It was love, man.
I mean, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as a man who has fallen in love at one point or another in his life, I can't blame him for that.
I mean, but Salem was quite a crazy gal.
I mean,
Is
but
quite a
he's
crazy
blinded
gal.
by his love for her, so I can oversee that. I can.
I mean,
I
to
can
be
be
fair,
fine.
yes, I do see your point. I do.
So anyone have any other things they want to say about Volume 6?
No,
I mean,
besides just our hopes for Volume 7,
yeah. I mean, this kind of transition to something that we're going to talk about now, but music.
Oh yeah, the music before. The music. So I have loved every single song in its volume. Let's see, we got the Lion Eyes, which is the song from the Adam trailer. We've got Rising, which is a song from the intro. Miracle, the song from the train fight. One Thing, the song from the Neo versus Cinder fight.
Mm-hmm.
Forever Fall from the Pyrrha scene.
which was amazing.
Big Metal Shoe from the mech fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the Silver Eyes song was, or whatever that song was, when Ruby was in the Silver Eyes. What?
My favorite song, in other words.
Yeah, the Silver Eyes song. I didn't really hear that much of it. And then we have the song in the credits, which, fun fact, these two listened to it, Goldstar and Jellal. I may have not, because I wanted to see the post-credit scene.
Oh my god.
Really quickly, so I didn't really listen to it because I don't like listening to songs in a credit. So you mind kind of telling me what the song was about and if it was good or not?
No. What I told you, let's get this out of the way first. What I told you was that I was going through the credits and I took my mouse and literally went through the video to see how long the credits would be before the post-credit scene. That's what I did.
No, that's not what you told me, though.
That's exactly what I meant to tell you. So if I told you something different...
meant to tell me, but that's not...
All right, you guys. You said one thing. He said one thing. Let's just focus on, was the song any good?
Of course it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. It's RWBY.
It's RWBY song.
It's RWBY we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, but I will agree with Jellal. The RWBY Silver Eyes song is one of my favorite songs of the volume, despite how short it is. Like I felt that was such an empowering song for that moment, and it just really struck out to me.
I'm adding that song to my anime playlist when it comes out.
Yeah, me too. I'm buying the soundtrack and everything.
Of course.
Yeah, and
if you don't, you're a horrible person.
Does anyone have any bad things to say about the music, at all?
No, I don't have any bad things about the music. I don't think the song I hate or.
Honestly, I would say we needed more songs like Boop in this.
No, I don't think so. But anyway.
No, you know what we're talking about, right, Goldstar? Boop?
Like just a fun song?
No, not like fun, but like something kind of to point out the love between these guys and everything like that. Or My Turn. That's a better example. My Turn.
You want to know what love is?
I don't think that's a real song. But
no,
anyway, let's just... I think we start wrapping this up. So, overall... This volume 6 has been my favorite volume. Everything about it, the episodes, the soundtrack, everything. It's my favorite volume.
Mm-hmm.
Second favorite is volume 3. And I really hope Ruby continues like this with volume 7, because this has just been amazing.
I could imagine every 3 volumes is just a spectacular volume.
Oh, it's like, okay, it's a good beginning, so middle, great end. But no, I hope it continues this and be great instead of just having the...
Yeah, I do agree. Volume 6 is my favorite volume. I mean, except for maybe some continuity mistakes.
Like what? What's some continuity mistakes?
I mean, just so thinking about.
Thinking about what?
I can't really name one off the top of my head. I would normally name one, but I just can't. Maybe it's just me nitpicking.
I think it's just nitpick. I don't really see any continuity mistakes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite volume.
Yeah. Jellal?
No further commentary, in all honesty. I think everything that's needed to be said has been said. My favorite volume, 100% and a half. It's like everything I wanted.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I think everything I wanted really from volume 5, whether it was Revelation, whether it was Unity, whatever it was, we got it from this, if you ask me.
Yeah, so volume 6 definitely the best.
Volume 5 gave us the reunion, everything else we got.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, so this has been an awesome volume, and I think we should wrap this up. So this has been Knight, Goldstar, and Jellal from Relic of Knowledge, and this has been our season finale of Knowledge of RWBY. We'll see you guys in RWBY Volume 7. What?
See you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Jellal, I think, is crying or something. share the video. You can follow us on our Twitter at Relic Knowledge. I am talking. Stop crying. You can follow us on Twitter at Relic Knowledge, and on our down in the links below, we've got the RWBY Amino and our Genlock Amino. So, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Goodbye.